All right, I want each of you to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. It is really, really important. Seven seconds of silence. Awkward, that's what you just listened to. Now, I'm sure when I said I had something important to say, some of you might have assumed that I was going to say something to really draw you into my presentation, something to get you thinking in depth on my topic, but instead I said nothing. What if I were to tell you that my silence said it all? In fact, my silence said more than enough. You see, there is an immense amount of individuals in our world today who want to share their voice, they want to share their feelings, but instead they remain silent. This is an image of one of the first mental institutions established in America in the 1800s. Now, when people hear the words mental institution, oftentimes they resort to thinking of the words crazy or insane. However, a number of the patients that were admitted into these hospitals weren't crazy or insane at all. A lot of them just suffered from severe depression, high anxiety levels, anger management issues, and oftentimes suicidal thoughts. And how were these individuals treated by the nurses and other doctors? They received the finest treatment in all of America. Wrong. When a person would cry out for help, oftentimes the nurses would strap them to their beds and chain them there and not let them leave until they stopped crying. When a person needed someone to talk to, there were many times in which the nurse would lock them alone in their room until they stopped complaining and asking for someone. Why? Oh, and what does this mean for the general public? That's you and me. We get to avoid and ignore these individuals as if their issues are non-existent, unimportant, and irrelevant. Why? Now, I know what some of you might be wondering. Erin, how does this pertain to us? This happened hundreds of years ago. Mental facilities have come a long way since then. And you know what? You are so right. Mental facilities are great. Hardly ever do we hear of cases in which people are being abused by nurses or doctors. But what about the general public? Us. You see, although we don't physically abuse people around us, we do torment them. We torment them with our words, our judgment, our actions. And this hurts them, and this causes them to remain silent. We as a society have become accustomed to avoiding what we do not understand and ignoring what we are uncomfortable with. Which brings me to today's topic, understanding the misunderstood. We as individuals should try our hardest to understand those around us despite any differences we might have with them. Now, for a moment, I'd like for each of you to envision your mother or a mother-like figure in your lives. Maybe when you envisioned your mom, you might have imagined her smiling face or maybe her angry face, depending on what you saw more as a child. Or maybe you just envisioned your mom always being there to lift you up when you fell down. This is my mom. Sorry for the quality. It's a kind of an old picture. And she wasn't always there, if you know what I mean. My mother struggled with several mental health illnesses, such as severe depression, high anxiety levels, and oftentimes suicidal thoughts. When I was in the 5th grade, I thought I was the coolest kid on the block. Here are some pictures to show you how cool I really was. Yeah, I was pretty cool. I thought I had so many friends and I was really popular. When in all actuality, I had about 3 friends, but I was content, so that made me cool. Well, there was one time when I really wanted my friend to come over after school, and her response went something like, "Sorry, Erin, I can't come over because my mommy said that your mommy is really sad, and my mommy doesn't want me to be around her because she's worried that I'll get sad too." This happened on multiple occasions, but this one really struck me. I just didn't understand why my mom had to be so sad, why she was so weird compared to all the other moms. It wasn't until I was in high school that I began to truly understand what my mom had been going through. My mom and I were having a conversation one time, and she confided in me, and she told me that she felt like no one cared. She felt like no one cared about what she was going through. She felt like no one listened, no one wanted to understand, and that she was a burden on all those around her, and so she kept her mouth shut. When she said this, it finally clicked. I had felt so selfish because I had been thinking about myself. I felt like I was the victim in all of my situations throughout elementary school, when in all actuality, I wasn't. And I'm not telling you this so you feel sorry for my mom. I'm telling you this because there are so many people in society today who feel the exact same way as my mother did, or worse. And what's to come of them if we don't try to reach out and help people who truly need it? Despite its high treatment rate, nearly 2 out of every 3 people suffering with depression do not seek nor receive treatment. Why? Now, I can't speak for the entirety of anyone who's ever been depressed, but I can speak for my mom. And my mom told me she didn't seek treatment because she was scared. She was scared to feel. She was scared to voice her feelings because her entire life she had been told that she was overreacting. By a raise of hands, how many of you have ever been told that you were overreacting? A majority of us have. I know I have. And we've become accustomed to saying that because it's a casual thing, but sometimes it's not okay to tell someone they're overreacting because it makes them feel like their issues, their trials, their struggles are invalid. And that shouldn't be the case. We as a society need to try to adapt. And I don't want you guys to misunderstand what I'm referring to when I refer to the misunderstood. You see, when I say the misunderstood, I'm not only speaking about people who struggle with mental health issues or people who have a lot of really sad emotions. I'm talking about every single one of us in this room, in this university, in this country, in the world, because all of us are misunderstood in one way or another. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different lifestyles. We all have different dreams, different aspirations, different ambitions and desires. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you might not ever fully understand what the person who's sitting next to you went through. And that's okay. I'm not saying that we need to understand everyone and what everyone has gone through because that's irrational. There's no way we could have a full understanding of every person we're around. But we can at least try. It doesn't hurt to try to understand people. It doesn't hurt to try to care and be considerate of people and what they're going through. This is an image of my mom that was taken about a year ago. I don't know if you guys can tell, but she looks genuinely happy. Throughout the years, my family has grown to try to understand her, and we've grown so much closer with her, and we love her so much. And I firmly believe that she has become happier because we've shown her that her issues are valid. Her feelings matter. At the beginning of this presentation, I asked each of you to listen to me because I had something important to say. And then instead there was silence. It might have confused some of you. But in all sincerity, there are so many people in our society today who remain silent out of fear. They're afraid they might be judged for what they're feeling. They're afraid that people won't care. So today I challenge you to listen to those around you, to be sensitive to their issues, to try to understand what they're going through. Because trust me, it really, really does make an impact, no matter how insignificant you might feel it is. Now I have something really, really important to say, and I'm going to say it within 7 seconds. All minds matter. All issues are important. Please, just try to understand the misunderstood. Thank you.